TikTok world. Pastor Williams coming to you today. Been away at the LCMS convention for the last week, and so I am not fully here today, recovering from that. Anyway, our Sunday lesson this week is from Matthew chapter 14, verses 13 to 22, famously known as when Jesus feeds the 5,000. So several things I want to take away here. First, at the very beginning, it says, when Jesus heard this, he withdrew from there in a boat to a desolate place by himself. What's this? Well, the death of his cousin John. All right, so Jesus is basically going off to go mourn his cousin John, who was beheaded by Herod. But then he sees, crowds hear about him going to this place, and they all follow him out there. And it says, when he got ashore and saw the great crowd, he had compassion on them and healed the sick. And the word for had compassion is, in the Greek, it's like, all your innards are moving, right? You're in that movie or whatever, and you see somebody being kind to somebody who's not doing, well, whatever, and your emotions just start pouring out, right? So that's what Jesus is doing here. His guts go out to these people, and there he goes. And then finally, Jesus says, well, the disciples are like, hey, we need to get rid of these people. They need to get moving to get home if they're going to get home for time for dinner. And Jesus says, well, you give them something to eat. He's like, what? Yeah. Said, you give them something to eat. We only got 5 loaves and 2 fishes. He's like, not a big deal. Bring them to me. And he blesses them, and they pass them out among the crowds, right? 5 loaves, 2 fish, and they feed everybody. Not only that, but there are 12 baskets full of broken pieces left over, right? What's all that about? Well, here Jesus, in a sense, here is doing the Israelites in the wilderness, right? When the Israelites in the wilderness, they were grumbling and they were needing, God brought them manna in the morning and quail in the evening. He provided water from the rock to provide for them. And that was Jesus doing that for them in the wilderness. He's the Lord who provided those things for the Israelites back then. But now he's in the flesh, right? So he's doing what he's always done, taking care of us, taking care of his people. And you might note also that it says 5,000, but that's just 5,000 men. That is not counting the women and their children who are out there with him too. So if everybody just had one wife and one child, that's like 15,000 people. It could be more. How many Jewish people back then would only have one child, right? Probably 3, 4, 12, maybe even sometimes. So anyway, this just shows us that Jesus is God, and that when he sees us, his heart goes out to us. Blessings.